A language is a growing, changing thing, like a family. Old photographs show us changes that have slowly taken place in our family over the years. And as for our language, old writings show us that it has changed even more slowly and much less noticeably. Take the writings of the man who helped settle Jamestown more than 350 years ago, Captain John Smith. John Smith spoke English, but in some ways it was different from the English you speak. Some words were spelled and pronounced differently. This was crafty. Fertile. Wars. This spelling indicates an earlier pronunciation with two syllables, warrant. And the words above it show that ways of putting words together have also changed since Smith's time. Today we wouldn't say, the men be few. Your language has grown and changed and is still changing, like your family. If you can see your family's changes in the photographs of your family album, let's make use of a language album to see how our language has changed. One way our language changes is by the addition of new words. This object gave our language a new word. It was in 1948 that three scientists developed a tiny device. It functioned as a transfer resistor. From these words came a word most of us know today, transistor. Not only was the noun transistor added to our language, but also the adjective transistorized, describing any electronic device using transistors. The word television is also a recent addition to our language. It was quickly shortened to TV, which gave our language another new word. Many new words have been added by such shortening. We shortened photograph to photo, influenza to flu, telephone to phone. Such changes have come about mainly through usage of our language by the people who speak it every day. These people, including you, help provide our language with another source of new words, slang. Most words that come into our language through slang, however, are quickly discarded. Perhaps that will be the fate of these two slang words.
I don't dig him. He's a square.
Some slang words, though, have almost become accepted into our language.
That's Coronet. He's a wolf.
The addition of new words is only one way our language grows and changes. A second way involves changes in the words themselves. Sometimes the spelling of a word changes. Here are two spellings of the same word, catalog. Both these spellings are correct. Both are given in a dictionary. You depend on some authoritative dictionary to give you the approved spellings of words. You don't expect it to change their spelling. But one famous dictionary did that. This one, published in 1828. The publisher, Noah Webster, believed that words should be spelled the way they were pronounced. From this dictionary came the authority for our modern American spellings of such words as color, center, and plow. Until Webster changed their spellings in 1828, color had been considered correctly spelled only this way, center only this way, and plow only this way. They are still spelled this way in England. Changes in spelling are often preceded by changes in pronunciation. Think about the word certain. A modern American would pronounce it
certain.
But in pioneer days, an American might have said,
Start.
he wasn't mispronouncing the word, but merely pronouncing it according to one of its accepted spellings in his day. But over a long period of time, a change took place in the accepted pronunciation of the word that was reflected in its spelling. Usually, pronunciation changes slowly. However, under the influence of radio and television, the pronunciations of some words are changing more rapidly. Listen to this.
It's country fresh, grade A, pasteurized and homogenized. Try some today.
When the word homogenized came into popular use in our country about 20 years ago, the only pronunciation listed by one standard unabridged dictionary was homogenized. But perhaps someone unfamiliar with that pronunciation said homogenized. This pronunciation gained wide popularity. Because dictionaries reflect popular usage, new ones list homogenized as the only acceptable pronunciation. Not only do words of our language change in spelling and pronunciation, but they may also change in meaning. For example, when you think of the word shambles, a picture of destruction probably comes to your mind. Someone has made a shambles of this room. But the word shambles originally meant a stool. As its meaning gradually changed, shamble came to mean a table for selling goods. Then a table for selling just meat. Then, in the plural, a place where meat was sold. Then a place where animals were slaughtered for meat. Then a scene of human slaughter. And finally, today, it means any scene of disorder. Many words have changed in meaning, and many words are changing in meaning now. For example, in the last few years, we've witnessed a change in the meaning of scan. Listen.
Did you read it carefully?
No, I just wanted to scan it.
As used here, scan means to read hastily, without care. While this is a common present-day usage of scan, a dictionary will show you that earlier the usual meaning of scan was look at closely, examine with care. Perhaps the meaning of scan has changed in everyday usage because scan is so similar to the word skim, which does mean to examine hastily. And so you can see that changes have taken place in the spelling, pronunciation, and meaning of words. Our language changes in one more important way, in the structural devices we call grammar. The rules of grammar change. Listen to this brief dialogue.
That's Bonnie, Jill, Kathy, Vicky, and Lori.
Who do I see here?
It's me.
You see their grammatical errors? In formal English, this would be whom, and this would be I. But in time, our rules of grammar may change, and these forms may become as acceptable in formal usage as they now are in informal usage. Sometimes changes in grammar work the other way.
How's the assignment? Thou most unkindest yet.
We recognize the construction most unkindest as not strictly correct. Yet no one in Shakespeare's day thought Mark Antony ungrammatical when he said, "This was the most unkindest cut of all." The rules of grammar require that we avoid ending a sentence with a preposition. But sometimes it's difficult to do this.
That is something I will not put up with.
Avoiding the preposition at the end might result in an awkward expression like this.
That is something up with which I will not put.
Of course, we don't speak that way. To avoid the preposition at the end, you can restructure the sentence.
I will not put up with that.
And so, in these and other ways, changes in our grammar reflect changes in our language. But remember, our language serves one main function: communication. Changes in our language should help improve its usefulness as a communication tool. Each of you, to some degree, will help our language change by the way you use it. Changes help keep our language alive and flexible so that it can serve our changing needs. Make sure that your contribution to the growth and change of our language will help it become a better tool for communication.